Hello 8th grade, I'm Mr. Rogers and you're watching the first video lecture for a brand new book, a brand new unit. We are starting chemistry. And I know the question you're asking, Mr. Rogers, are we going to blow anything up? The answer is no, we are not. So asked and answered. Alright guys, so this first page, you do not have to write anything down. These are our lesson objectives. So in this short video, we're going to do the following things. Define atom, element, compounds, mixtures, and molecules. Compare physical and chemical changes. Talk a little bit about bonds and how they change. And identify some evidence that a reaction has occurred. So, changes in matter. That's what the first chapter is called. So, what's matter? What's the matter? Nothing's the matter. So, an element cannot be broken down into any other substance. We talk about elements a little bit. And the smallest part of an element is an atom. An atom is the smallest piece of iron that can still be iron. And all the matter around you is composed of at least one of those elements, a lot of times more. So, we kind of put these atoms together to form compounds. So compounds are two or more elements chemically combined. So there's a bond there that's holding them together. And a compound is the molecule is the smallest part of a compound, and it is two or more atoms bonded together. So when we get here, then we can have different types of compounds. Sometimes different compounds are mixed together. So when two or more pure substances are mixed together, each substance kind of keeps its properties. So this is like when we're mixing trail mix or a bag of Skittles. Those Skittles are all mixed in there. You can still pick out the individual ones in trail mix. I can just pick out the peanuts and taste the peanuts or the raisins. And so we get to like a solution. That's like a well-mixed mixture. That'd be like, I think salt water, I think lemonade. So no matter where I taste that lemonade, it's going to taste the same throughout. So these things are more physical. Like I can separate out my raisins from my trail mix. But in a chemical bond down here, things are chemically bonded together. Now they can't be separated as easily. So a chemical bond is that force that holds atoms together. And chemical reactions here occur when chemical bonds break or when new bonds are formed. So the way you think about this is a chemical change or a chemical reaction ends with new or different substances. It's like playing a game of Scrabble. We're going to give you a word. We're going to have you scramble those letters and make some new words. Not that's Scrabble, but that's kind of the idea. You're scrambling those letters up to create new words. So the way to look at this here is this kind of little flow chart and how we might look at this. Here's all matter. And we can look at it, can it be separated by physical means? So if it's yes, it's a mixture. Like I said, if I could pull out the trail mix, things like that. If I could boil off the water and have the salt left behind, it'd be a mixture. And there's different types of mixtures we're not going to get into too much. We have heterogeneous mixtures and homogeneous mixtures. I think heterogeneous, that's like a trail mix. The homogeneous, that's our salt water. And on the other side here, so if I can't break it down by physical means, so if I can't just change the temperature a little bit, or if I can't pick things out individually, that means we have more of a pure substance. And so now this substance, if it can be separated by chemical means, we can break it down into two smaller parts. We can break it down to an element. That'd be that it can still have all those characteristics like iron. Over here on the other side, we could have a compound. So we think about H2O or water. So those are a couple of atoms bonded together, but they still have that one uniform property. So all water, H2O, has the same properties. That'd be a compound. An element is that single one, just oxygen by itself. Alright, so we think about these different types of changes. So how do we change matter? Well, there's physical changes. And that changes the shape, the size, or state of matter. So an ice cube's solid, that's frozen H2O. I can change its state of matter. So it can be liquid water. If we boil it, it boils off into water vapor, into a gas. So think about it that way. We can change the shape, but I can always go back to the ice cube. If I freeze that water again, I can go back. If I chop a tree down, chop it into logs for the winter, it's still wood. I've just changed maybe the shape and the size of it. So on the other side, I get into that. So chemical changes, again, is that change in a chemical composition or something new being created. So the signs we look for of a chemical change, there's a gas being produced. If you burn a piece of wood, gas is released. Temperature change, a solid is formed. We call that a precipitate. A lot of times it happens in two liquids mix. There's a permanent color change, like you can't go back to what you had before. A substance disappears. We don't say it really disappears, but it seems to disappear. It's not. We don't see it in its same state anymore. Or if there's an odor change, that's also a big indication of a chemical change. So those are kind of the big signs we look for when we're looking at chemical changes. All right, so 8th grade, I want to make this short as possible. So I thank you guys for watching this first video, and we will see you along the way.